Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. We have another fantastic one-shot from Reckoning of the Dead. I've run this before, and it's a good one. The authors are Matt Ryan and Noah Lloyd. As is my habit, I have changed a few of the details, including the title, but I will include the original title in the credits at the end. We are calling this one Magnum Opus, and this is the fourth version that we've done. That being said, let's begin our journey into the darkness. His name is Arnold Spiegler. He's a 40-something comic book artist living in a small apartment in the sunny seaside town of San Damiel, California. Despite having dedicated over 20 years of his life to drawing, Arnie has never really amounted to much. The world at large has no idea who he is and could probably care less for his existence. He has, however, a small but loyal fan base, mostly in the underground comic world. Since he's not being swarmed, one finds it easier to approach him and get to know the man. Most of his friends think that he was on the verge of throwing in the towel. But things may be changing. Rumor has it that a few weeks ago, he began work on something special. Something that he has been calling his Magnum Opus. No one has seen it. He won't show it to anyone, not until it's finished. But he has been working feverishly, almost nonstop for weeks. Busy. He's always busy now. But today, he has a comic book signing starting at 11 a.m. over at Metropolis Books. His friends are there waiting for him to show up, but it's already 10 past. The owner of the shop, who you all know pretty well, says, "Guys, what's up? Where's your friend? Where's Arnie? He was supposed to be here at 10:45. I've got people waiting outside. What's up?"
I haven't heard from him. Have you, Clinton?
Well, let me pull up my phone here and check. I thought he said he was supposed to be here. Just go ahead.
I'll run a diversion for the crowd outside, and he kind of sheepishly unpacks his backpack with some magic tricks that he has in there to appease his tables. He's in his Applebee's uniform, so he's going to go walk outside. I'm going to roll arts and crafts. So, I'm just going to try to do small tricks here and there for him.
All right, so you do that. You go out and you're keeping the crowd busy. But the owner's not happy. I mean, here we've been trying, to help promote the guy, and he's not showing up. I was kind of hoping that maybe this thing that he's been working on, he'd give us a preview or something. As we'll wait another 10 minutes or so, but geez, I hope he shows up.
Clinton, maybe you should give him a call. I mean, you kind of know him, right?
Right. Yeah. Let me go ahead and try and get a hold of him here. I'll just kind of step off to the side in a quiet area, pull up my phone, and try and call him first.
All right.
Or see if I have any messages.
What you get is something rather odd. You dial his number and it rings and it rings. It rings maybe 5 times. And then you distinctly hear the phone get picked up and then slammed back down again.
Maybe I was really annoying him. Let me try it one more time.
All right. This time it just rings and it rings and it rings and it rings. 5 or so minutes go by to 10 minutes. The crowd outside is getting, you don't have a tremendous amount of magic tricks.
Anyways, guys, that's the aristocrats.
The owner, he's like, "Dudes, you guys know where he lives, right? He doesn't live very far from here.
He's right down the road. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Would you guys go and see if he's coming? Go find out what the hell's going on."
Absolutely. Clinton, did you want to answer for you?
No, it sounded like he picked up or someone picked up and slammed it right down, and then I called again and didn't get any answer that time. So yeah, as long as owner, you can kind of handle things here. I guess we should all head down and take a look.
Yeah, but come back and bring me news or call the shop or something, but find out what the hell's going on. All right.
We will.
So you guys walk down the street. It's a couple blocks down, and you turn a corner and walk a couple blocks more to his apartment building. It's like a 7-story high building, but you know he lives on the 3rd floor. You go in through the front door, and there is a apartment guard that's just making sure, you know, and he's seen you before, so he knows it's okay for you to be there. You head on up to the 3rd floor, and his room is at the end of the hall, so you're, 10 feet away from the door. What do you guys want to do? Describe what you're doing. Yeah.
I look at Clinton and I go, well, I mean, you're his best friend. You should be the one who knocks on the door.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, unless anyone else has any other ideas. I mean, best friend might be a strong label. I'm pretty sure I don't annoy him. He usually just wants to focus on his work, but he's let me in.
Okay,
before.
Gives
be
you the
humble.
time of day,
Be
Clinton,
humble,
so
Clinton. Yeah.
All right.
you got that above the rest of us.
Okay. All right. I'll go up. I'll just knock on the door and say, hey, it's Clinton. Arnie, we got that show.
No, go away. No. It's just, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. No.
What doesn't fit?
No. It's not going to work. It's just not. It's too much. It's too much. And he starts yelling rather loudly, like he's in pain. What you guys want to do?
I don't. He doesn't have a reputation for doing drugs, does he, Clint?
Nothing serious.
More or less straight edge little pot now and again kind of thing, right? But it sounds like he's flipping the fuck out.
Yeah, we should. I haven't seen him like this before. We should probably try and get in here. Is there a doormat or anything? Look around, try and see if there's a key hidden somewhere. I guess
There's a doormat, but he probably doesn't have a hidden key out here because it's an apartment.
sure.
Is the door locked?
Do a luck roll. Actually, probably locked. Everybody locks their door.
That is unsuccessful. It's only 59 for 50, but can't spend luck on luck.
Yeah, it's locked. It's broken. It's locked. You can hear things. It sounds like things are getting dropped and smashed or broken.
Let me try something. And I walk up to the door and I start knocking on it. I go, hey, it's Bruce. I brought your favorite quesadilla burger from Applebee's.
It suddenly goes dead silent.
This works every time, guys.
Arnie,
And
Knock,
it stays dead silent. There's no longer any voice.
And there was only one voice before. We didn't hear
Correct.
any.
You only heard
other.
him. You only heard him.
well, unless anyone else has any other bright ideas, I'm about to try and just slam myself into this door and knock it down.
Whoa, hold on. We can probably grab the doorman. He probably has a key. What do you think, Nadine?
Yeah, we just tell him we're
There's-
concerned for his welfare. It's a
I don't
welfare
think there's a doorman in this building. It's just
The security guard in the front probably
Yeah.
does
Right.
not have keys to the apartments.
fire escape.
Yeah, we could check that.
We're gonna set off a fire alarm going outside, and then
No, if
I
it's
don't know how
like
to
an
get around.
outside staircase.
I doubt
Alright.
any of his neighbors might have keys or anything, but fire escape might be the best idea.
We could do a maintenance man too.
the length of time as you're deliberating. It's deathly silent. It's
what if he had a stroke? Come on, I'm big and you were a little bulky. Let's just take the door in.
Yeah, let's do it.
all right. Why don't you both do strength things?
80, no, fail.
15 is nearly an extreme. I can make it extreme. with 3.
And you're a bus driver and you're big, so
Yeah, I'm actually not strong, but I'm big.
you hit the door with your weight, and there's a splintering of the wood, around the latch, and the door flies open, hits the wall, bounces back a little. But his room is kind of the way, those of you who've been there, it's what you expect. He's not very neat. There are art supplies everywhere. Most of the apartment paint job itself is spattered with speckles of colored paint, and he's got easels up and canvases, and he's got art supplies everywhere. His bed, it's a one room, so there's a bathroom attached to it, but there's a bed, there's a desk. You can see his easel, not easel, but you know what comic book artists work on, an art table,
Drafting table.
But nobody's there. Now the bathroom door is closed.
No signs of like blood or anything
No,
else around.
there might be a few things that have fallen on the floor, but you don't know if they were already there or not.
What's it smell like?
It smells like paint and art supplies, and maybe
Arnie.
somebody who hasn't bathed in a while.
Arnie, in the bathroom. You okay?
No response.
All right. Try the doorknob.
All right, so you're all going inside. The doorknob to the bathroom is unlocked. Bathroom opens. There is nobody inside.
I swear to God, I heard him in here.
Are the windows
I heard it
open?
too.
Windows are closed.
You all heard him in here, right? Not just me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It sounded
Mhm.
like something
Yes.
was going on.
Screaming like he was getting stabbed in the gut.
Right.
Cool. Okay, closet doors.
Yeah, let's search the place
Yeah.
wherever he could be hiding.
Okay. Everybody do search spot hidden ones.
Oh,
I got an extreme success.
Failed.
Fail.
88. I'm
Hey, 85
Okay.
over here.
I got an 11.
So Nadine, Clinton, and Mike, you're looking around the room, but there's no place you could hide. You check the closets. There's nothing in there. His stuff is in there. Nothing seems out of the ordinary or anything. Bruce, as you are looking around, there on his art desk is a large 11 by 17 art manuscript. Obviously, it's the thing that he's been working on. It's wide open. It's vibrantly colorful, and nobody has seen it. This must be his magnum opus that he's working on.
Mike, come check this out. Come here.
dude. He's not here anywhere. Where did he go?
I don't know, but this is what he's been working on. I hold it up for the group.
Well, it's a little bit hard to hold. I mean, it's
Yeah,
big.
I gestured to it.
It actually amazingly looks like he's got over 300 panels that he has
Wow.
completed in large. They usually make them in much larger size and then shrink them down for publication. As you look at them, they are very odd. I mean, you've never seen art quite like this. This is cutting edge, weird stuff. It as you're looking at it, you're seeing sort of cityscapes, but they're sort of futuristic cities, and there are strange flying devices. It's obviously some sort of sci-fi story. There are strange alien beings walking about in the streets, and it's phenomenal. I mean, this will skyrocket if he publishes it. The story, you don't really get much of the story because you're just sort of starting to read it. But I would like everyone else, everyone who's not hovering, to do a spot hidden.
Oh, that's a 10. That might be an extreme.
I got a hard success.
Okay, excellent. So those two are looking at the the book, and you guys are just trying to wonder what has happened here. Where did he go? You know that you all heard him inside here. And as you're standing there, Nadine, you're looking over at his couch, and there is a pizza box that with maybe a slice or two of pizza still left in it that's sitting there. The pizza box is kind of brown and red, and his ugly couch is blue. And as you're staring at it, it seems like the blue couch is fading into gray, and the red on the box and the brown are fading into gray. And Clinton, as you see her looking around, you start to notice that too, there's splashes of paint that were on the walls that's already messy, but they all seem to be fading into gray, like the color is bleeding out of the world. And you feel a little bit dizzy because it's disorienting.
Clint, does this seem odd to you?
Like the colors are fading?
Yeah.
Changing?
Oh, Jesus. I don't feel great. I need to sit
Yeah,
down.
me neither. Maybe I don't want to sit on that color changing couch, but somewhere.
Everything in the room is changing. It's the
Bruce,
color.
Mike, look up from the book. Put the book down for a minute.
Yeah. You two see this?
Are you guys
Did you
gonna
see
look?
this? I mean, this is like unlike anything he's ever done. This is the most amazing thing.
Yeah, why would I want to look at anything
Oh my
else?
God, look around. Look at the apartment.
Yeah, it's a dump. What do you expect?
Even smells like rotten food.
You don't see it?
Do you both look around and notice? Because when you do, you notice that everything seems to be fading as well.
What?
I look
Go ahead.
down at my Skechers and see my multicolored Skechers to see if they're bleeding out.
And they are.
Holy
In
shit.
fact, you notice that your skin is bleeding out, or
Ugh.
maybe something is happening to you that's causing you to lose your ability to see color. But
It's prob-
once Mike and Bruce start looking around, the book is not there any longer.
Son of a bitch. That's priceless. Dude, where?
Maybe we should step out of here for a minute and
Just
just look in from outside.
Yeah, I need some
I
air.
don't know. I'm
This
feeling
is
kind of
weird.
dizzy.
As you guys are turning around, at least, and thinking about heading towards the door, you can all do spot hiddens once again.
Regular success.
Fail.
So Clinton, as you turn, something catches your eye. It seems to be the only thing in the room that's still in color. And it's on one of his side tables. There's a UPS box that is gray. But sitting next to it on the table is a blue disc about this big. It just seems to be sitting there on the
Do
table.
I remember that that's been there from previous times I've been?
You've never seen it before. You go over and take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll just let everyone know. Hey, there's something over here.
whoa. What
It
is
seems to be made out of ceramic.
What's all that little writing on it?
It's so alien looking. Does it look like anything in the manuscript?
I don't know. I mean, now you're just using your memory on the.
Yeah, it's
manuscript.
gone.
but it's distinctly blue. Everything around you now is faded out to gray.
Right. So this is eating all the color in the room.
It's almost like mathematical, the way the lines and it's like angles and
But also like handmade looking.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What does it feel like?
It feels like ceramic.
And the
Like
other
it's like
side
it's a
is
glaze.
similar?
It's the other side is blank, but it's got a slight texture.
Blue but
It's like-
unmarked?
right, like it's glazed pottery of some sort.
So so he got it. All right. The UPS box, where's it from?
The UPS box has no return address, but it is definitely addressed to him, Arnie Spiegler.
Like handwritten or printed.
Printed.
Is there a date?
The date, yes. The date is about 4 weeks ago.
Does that line up to his Magnum Opus starting to come to fruition?
Yeah, in fact, it kind of does. It's been a couple of weeks or a few weeks since he suddenly became inspired.
Hmm.
So Arnie got a UPS package from space that inspired him. And
From
now
space, Mike. Come on.
I don't know. Not from anybody here. Doesn't look like anything I've seen
You
before. It's in
probably
some
bought it
crazy
off of
language.
Etsy or something. Come on.
This reeks of Etsy.
You can find all kind of weird shit on that site.
My cousin's
Yeah.
got one of those palm trees made out of Mountain Dew cans.
Speaking of, maybe is there a computer around here? Maybe I could try and find where he got this from if he ordered it online.
There is a computer, but it's not turned on at the moment.
Well,
We'll
I
turn
can
it
take a
on.
minute here and try and I'll try and flip it on and
All right.
see if I can get in there.
You turn it on, and the screen remains black.
Okay, we'll just start.
Is there a little green light or a little gray light?
There is a little gray light.
I don't dress very colorfully. I'm going to look around at these guys and like gauge their degree of saturation.
All of you are now in various, grays.
I think I'm going to step in the hallway and see if this wears off
Okay.
and like think about whether we have to call the police because Arnie's not here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I should not mess around with this computer till the police come.
I mean,
But yeah.
now all we've done is break and enter, and like they would have to take our word for it that we heard him in here. And
Where could he
Yeah,
have gone?
I like, he's not in the fridge, he's not in the oven, he's not in the tiny closet, he's not, the ceiling tiles are intact. Like he's just not here. I want to step out of here for a minute, and if I don't start to feel color coming back, then I want to get that disc because it's got my cue in it. I can't be black and white in the world.
That's a good idea, Mike. I need a cigarette, and his hands are shaking as he reaches into his coat pocket, pulls out a pack of Marlboro Lights.
Okay. So the two of you are going to step into the hallway. How about Nadine and Clinton?
I'm gonna knock on the neighbor's door, and if they answer, ask them when's the last time they saw Arnie.
All right. So you all Clinton? Are you also stepping into the hallway?
I think I'd kind of like to stay in here. I don't know, maybe see if I can. My curiosity about this computer is probably going to get the better of me and trying to figure out where one of my friends might have got this weird disc from.
All right, we'll take this one bit at a time. Bruce and Mike step into the hallway, and the hallway is gray.
Damn, it's already leaked out.
You'll also notice that the sound, there's something wrong with the sound of everything. It's almost as if you had your hands slightly over your ears, like you were inside of a closet. It's
We're waiting
muffled
for
and
Bruce to pop on a plane.
yeah. Nadine, you knock on the neighbor's door and there's no response. Clinton, as you are sitting there looking at the computer, you start to see like the Windows opening screen in black and white, but it's very, very faint and it's very, very slowly getting brighter.
Am I noticing any kind of, like if I move my hand around in front of my face, does it seem slow? And
No, seems normal.
yeah. And the Windows loading screen looks like it's just taking a while, but other
Like
than that,
it's-
appears.
Like an old television that's slowly warming up.
Mm. Okay. Take a peek down the hall. Make sure I can still see my three friends
Yeah,
out
they're
there.
right- they're right outside. You can hear them too.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just hang out here for a moment and continue to let it load.
Okay. All right. So, Bruce, you said you were going to smoke.
Yeah, I stepped outside.
All right. You try to light your lighter, and it won't light, and it won't spark. It's as if there's nothing there.
Bruce sighs, looks around the street. Is there anyone there?
Oh, did
Cars.
you leave the building?
Yeah, I walked
Oh,
outside.
I'm sorry. I need to go through more.
It's illegal. It's 2019.
Well, that doesn't mean people.
Yeah, I know, right?
Part of the building. All right, so let me give you your experience. You walk down to the end of the hall and take the stairs down, and you notice that the stairs themselves have sort of a weird hollow sound, like you were inside of a room. You don't see anybody in the building until you get to the ground floor, and the concierge is behind the desk, same as he was before, a concierge guard. But he's also gray. And I think that when you probably walked in earlier, he was reading a book. He's sitting there reading his book, but he's not moving. And when you walk to the front door and open it and step out, everything is in black and white, and everything is simplified. Distant buildings are just black rectangles on the horizon, and there are no cars in the street. And it seems as if you look down the street, that the buildings fade off into nothingness, into whiteness.
I mean, I think I have a good idea, but I'm going to roll a craft illustration.
Okay.
I got a regular success, and seeing if it looks familiar, like the styles of our friend Arnold, or just in general to what I see in comic books.
You had a glance in the book. The book was in color, but this is very much like a comic book illustration. Things that don't need to be illustrated. For instance, you look at a high-rise building and there's windows going up part way, and then there's nothing up above.
Okay.
You didn't draw all of it's very disconcerting. And yet it's three-dimensional and you are standing in it.
So,
Other than that, the city looks familiar. It looks like the city you live in, San Daniel.
So once Bruce sees all that, he tries to light his cigarette. Obviously, it doesn't light.
And it doesn't light. You can do a sanity roll too.
Okay. That is a fat fail.
Roll a 1d4.
4.
Okay. I think that
Starting off
I
strong.
think you drop your cigarette and run back inside yelling shit, 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 shit.
Yeah, so the cigarette just drops out of his mouth, and he just hightails it upstairs as fast as he can.
You guys all hear him coming up the stairs in a weird, muffled sort of way. I'm not going to say that every time, but that's the case.
Bruce, you okay?
Outside, and he points down the hallway, hand just shaking.
What about it?
Look,
Clinton, you're actually right next to a window. So
Oh, yeah, I'll just peer over and take a look out.
you look out and you see exactly what he sees, that everything is kind of flattened and simplified and in black, white, and gray. And you can do a sanity roll as well.
Oh, no, that's a 97.
1d4.
All right.
This is a 12-story
4.
building, you said?
Something like that, yeah. You're on the
So
third
there are
floor.
elevators. I'm going to casually go and punch the elevator down button.
Okay. And you wait. It takes a few seconds for the light to actually come on.
Yeah. Okay. And there's probably a window at the end of the hall, so I can see that the sky is gray
Yes,
and the clouds aren't really moving if there are already clouds.
correct. Yeah. There don't seem to be clouds. It seems to be white up there. And you can do a sanity roll as well. As can Nadine once
And
she
I'm going to
sees.
be yelling about all of this to Nadine, so... Well, I took it in stride with an 04.
Just take 1 point.
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah, just take 1.
It's good to be the third and fourth people to find out that the world is...
yeah,
I'm going to
serious.
take out my phone and try to call Arnie.
When you pull out your phone, it looks like your phone. It's in gray, except that the screen stays black. You're hitting the button and nothing's happening.
Okay. We're all going to go inside Arnie's apartment. There's 2 possibilities. Probably Arnie ordered some really fucked up mushrooms and the whole of his apartment is like super covered with something very trippy and we're all having a bad trip. Right?
Yeah.
And the only thing in here that's in color is his magic dish with, squiggles on it.
That's what the mushrooms were on. I like it. Yeah.
I want to
So,
look at that a little bit.
Sit on the
maybe
floor
there's
and
some-
hold the magic dish and not scream. And then Arnie will show up in 20 minutes laughing his ass off with his manuscript under his shoulder. And it doesn't matter that comic book guy's pissed at us because, Arnie's book is amazing. And then we'll all go home tonight and drink some beer and laugh about it. Okay?
Yeah.
I put the disc in the chat if you want to look at it. All right, so you go back into Arnie's apartment, and what do you do?
I'm gonna. Is that computer screen Windows loaded? Stopped.
Still slowly loading. It's only about halfway, it seems.
Oh, well, looks like we're dealing with Windows 95 here, everyone. This might be
Great.
be a Bennett.
No, but it's the phones too. Does he have a landline even? Probably not.
Probably not. Maybe in a building like this, everybody has.
So
a
I'll take up
landline.
the handset if there's a landline and go beep, boop, beep.
Nothing.
Yeah. No, everything's like, we can't connect with that like layer of reality because of what we're on. So you just can't wait to look at his computer. Let's just spend time with the desk, really feel it. Get back into the color.
I want to look at the disc and the lines and the etchings that are on it and see if there's any kind of logic in there, like coding. I've written some programs myself. Is there any kind of information I can gather or logic to it?
Do an intelligence roll.
President of the club science dude thinks it's science. Just because you're a scientist doesn't mean everything's science, man.
That's where I go first, though. Hard success.
There's something definitely I mean, you can't understand any kind of math that you're getting from it, but the arrangement of patterns on it doesn't seem to be just random. It must have some meaning. And was it just a regular pass?
It was a hard success.
It was a hard success.
Yeah.
You're starting to think that could some of this be in cuneiform? Because there's little marks that look very much like as you recall what cuneiform looks like.
I personally myself do not, but my character knows exactly what you're talking about, I guess.
Ancient Babylonian.
There we go.
Clinton, remember Night Sword, what they did with Night Sword? Issue number 6? Do that.
Yeah. Wait, do I have that one on me? I might. Oh wait, no, I don't.
Come on, he's the president of the fan club. How do you not remember Night Sword number 6?
Hey, he's got a lot, right? I mean, what? We've got nearly 100 issues of Mutant Machine Man. We've got 70 issues of Lola the Glider Girl. Have you even read Baby King yet? Come on.
Don't even try to one-up me. Just touch it to the wall and see if it gives color to it.
Go ahead and
Try that.
set it on something or touch it
like
to
I
the
say,
wall.
It's only about like that, and it's flat. Nothing happens.
This isn't an ancient thing, right? This is something like that color of blue isn't ancient, that glaze isn't ancient. This isn't like a museum quality thing. This is like an Etsy thing. I can try an appraise roll if that will help.
Sure.
Probably most of my appraise is for comic books, but appraise is appraise. Although 95 is also 95.
So you have no way of knowing whether it's ancient or not. But do an idea roll.
Wow, on the nose, 60.
Okay. The thing is it wasn't set up or displayed or anything. It was as if he opened the box and was like, what the fuck is this? Just put it on the table.
And the manuscript was on the drafting table and it's gone, but there's other work all over the place, right? On smaller tables and sheets and stuff.
This is older stuff. Yeah.
I want to look around for anything that looks like the spooky blue plate or the writing on it, the triangles and dots. Maybe it's a code that he solved.
All right, do a spot hidden.
I will spend 2 luck for that to be successful.
Okay. You don't find anything.
I tell you, we're just tripping people, and we just have to calm down. I'm going to make a clean spot on the floor to lie down and work on my breathing. Because this isn't real. It doesn't make any sense.
There's nothing else in the UPS box, right?
Nothing, no.
Packing slip from ancient Sumeria.
I've tripped pretty hard, but not like this. Nadine, what do you make of this?
I don't even know what to think, Bruce. This is weird, wild. I'm inclined to side with Mike just because what else would make sense? It's just a bad trip or something. I don't
Maybe
know what.
maybe we can unring the bell. Try putting it back in the box and closing it.
All right, I'll do that.
Are any of you, where are all of you standing? I assume, Clinton, you're still over by the computer?
Yeah.
You're also next to the window. Who's putting the thing back in the box?
I will.
Nadine's doing that. Mike and Bruce, what are you doing?
I'm in the doorway, still kind of
You're in the door.
half in, half out.
I was gonna clear a place on the floor to lie down, but then I was like, maybe water will help. And I'm gonna go to his little kitchenette and try to pour myself a glass of tap water.
Well, the water seems to be working. So
Okay, that's cool. And I'll point like, this is not slow like the machinery is.
Hmm.
And it tastes okay.
It has no taste at all. It's
And the glass still works like a glass. It isn't
sure,
a
yeah,
two-dimensional representation of a glass.
right.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't look like it. I mean, it looks like black and white.
Does it look
Three-dimensional version.
does it look cartoony in here like it kind of did when I looked outside?
A little bit, almost as if there's like little fine black lines on the edge of everything, including
Like
yourselves. You guys have, slight black. They're like rainbows in that you can't really put your finger on it and see the line. It's always on the edge, but it's definitely there. Clinton, do a spot hidden for me.
28. Spend 3 points to make it a hard success.
Okay. You're sitting there as they're doing all of this, and out of the maybe in desperation, you just sort of look out the window. And as you're looking, there's somebody on the street. They're walking away from your position, and they're sort of, I don't know, shambling, like they're injured or crippled. But there's definitely another living human being down there that's moving
While everything else is not.
while everything
there.
else is not.
Hey, everyone, come on. Look at the window here. There's someone else down there. Maybe we should run out. Look.
Is that Arnie?
It's too far away for you to see. And it's also in black and white and just
Yeah, we should go.
Do the windows open?
They do, but you're on the third floor. Yeah.
Right. I can open it up and lean down and scream out, "Hey, you! Hey, you!
Okay.
Do you know what happened?"
So you're looking out the window, you yell, "Hey, you." And it takes a second, but all of a sudden the figure in the street stops and sort of turns around, and you can't see, it's too far away, it's too comic booky, it's just a little thing in the distance. It shuffles around in a circle for a few moments, and then it starts to resume its direction, shuffling in that direction. It moves oddly.
It looks simple and small, but like a person.
Yeah. I mean, definitely it's far away. So if you got close to it, it would get bigger.
I mean, my fear is that the farther we get from this room, the more simple we're going to get until we're just like, a dot matrix.
Let's just take the disc with us then, Mike. It's the only thing with color.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with it.
Of course,
Yeah.
I mean, it has to. It's the only thing.
Yeah.
It's like that thing is sucking our whole world into it.
Leave it in the box, though.
Put it in the box.
Yeah,
Let's leave it in there.
If I pull out my phone, does it turn on? If so, camera, can I zoom in to see any?
It just stays black.
Stays black. Okay. I think we better go get this person or
Yeah, let's
whatever
go.
it is.
Yeah, might as well chase it. Maybe we'll see something else that moves.
Take the blue disc with us in the box and leave.
All right. You walk down the stairs. The elevator still has not arrived from when Mike hit it earlier. And as you get to the bottom of the stairs, you see the guard sitting behind his desk reading, but he's not moving.
He was like that before. Kind of gesture to him.
Yeah.
I feel lucky that even doors work and we're not just trapped in here.
Yeah. They're not automatic doors,
No.
these ones? Okay.
The doors seem to work just fine. Guard doesn't notice you were there, even though he should, but he doesn't see anything.
Yeah, just go up and hello.
No response. He's staring at his book, reading.
Okay.
Bruce is going to head outside towards the figure.
All right. You step out into the street. There's no sound of the city. It's dead silent. And off in the distance, you can see the guy on the sidewalk shuffling away from you. Are you you're heading towards him?
Yeah.
All right. It takes you a minute or so to catch up. All of you do spot hiddens.
Regular success.
Regular success.
All right. Actually, to answer an earlier question, indeed, some of the buildings do get simpler as you go along, but you seem to be maintaining your normal, what you normally would look like. As you get up to this guy, he's maybe 20 feet ahead of you. Those of you who said the spot hidden, something is definitely wrong here. You're seeing in shades of gray, but his left arm is definitely a different shade of gray than his right arm. And there's a line going across his head that definitely has a different texture than this side. He doesn't seem to notice you because he's walking away from you. His clothes are quite shabby, torn and ripped in places. It looks like they've been maybe even taken apart and put back together. And that's when you realize that it looks like he's been taken apart and put back together, and not very well. That's why he's shambling, because his right arm's too long, his feet are on crooked, his legs don't match.
It's the patchwork soldier, man. It's like he's made out of dead things.
It's like Two-Face Frankenstein. Do we want to?
Do you guys say that to each other?
Yeah.
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 The thing stops in the street when you guys are talking. And it starts to make a little circle, like it's shambling in a circle. And as it turns around and it sees you, and you see that its face, it's definitely some sort of a reconstructed thing. The nose is in the wrong spot a little bit. The eyes don't match, that they're in the wrong spot. But when it sees you, it gets an expression of surprise, and then it raises up its weird hand and points at you.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Do I recognize this as any of Arnie's drawings?
No. This is very strange. You guys can do sanity rolls for that too.
I'm going to go insane by
Fail.
the end of this.
Pass.
Fail.
If you pass, just take one. If you don't, 1 to 2. The thing opens and closes its mouth as if it's trying to say something, but no sound is coming out.
So this is where you live, huh?
It starts to back away from you, as if it was afraid of you.
That's good.
Do you know where Arnie is?
It starts to turn sideways and shuffle across the street.
Well, it didn't quite get hit by traffic.
It's keeping its eyes on you as it's shuffling across the street.
Nadine, can I have the box?
Yeah, sure. Here.
I'm going to take out the disc and show
The thing
Xerox
immediately,
Frankenstein.
the thing immediately turns away from you. And once it gets across the street, it's actually heading back in the direction that it was coming from.
Back to
and
the
it's
real world.
it's obviously trying to pick up its pace to get away from you. It can't really run.
So, oh my God.
Should we follow it?
Yeah, that's the only moving thing we've seen.
Yeah.
I don't think we're making any progress at Arnie's apartment. So
Right, but the farther we get, the more vague everything looks.
Clinton, did
you
you
don't look vague, Mike. I
Right.
mean,
You haven't really gone that far.
Clinton, did you say that the language on that disc was Babylonian?
Yeah, something like that. Looked familiar from some studies way back in the day, but
I'm gonna
Good.
roll a history on that, see if I can get something. It's a 12, so that is a hard success.
Well, without a direct knowledge of cuneiform, Sumerian, Babylonian, you'd have no idea what it actually says. But yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like some sort of ancient language. The glazing on it, I mean, this thing seems, it could be some sort of artifact. It's just in perfect condition. Like you say, it seems brand new.
Yeah, and Arnie, you know, God love him. It's not like he ever made any money, even though he worked his ass off. It's not like he's buying something from the Metropolitan Museum.
Yeah, it's really odd. It's really odd.
yeah,
Do I-
maybe it's like a replica of something and someone just sold it on Etsy. You know, I don't know.
Some gift shop thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
do I recall him talking about this at all in those 4 weeks?
Mm.
And there was no title on the manuscript, was there?
On, you mean the one that he was working on?
Yeah, his Magnum Opus.
Not really. Maybe it just said Magnum Opus.
What did we hear him shouting? Does anyone remember? What was
It
he
doesn't
shouting?
fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
It won't go.
I wonder what that means.
And then it
Is this-
sounded like something really hurt him. At least nothing really hurt us yet. But we should, I mean, also, because we're so tripping, like we should really not approach strangers anymore and be careful crossing streets, because obviously the real world is still out here, you know, and we're just wandering around like, you know, drugged zombies.
All right,
Yeah.
but you're continuing to follow at a distance this thing.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will.
At least it's toward Arnie's place.
All right. Well, it gets to Arnie's where you started from, and it continues going. You guys are somewhat familiar with the area. Well, you're probably very familiar with the area. You live here. You know that the comic book store is actually down another street to the side. The next biggest sort of landmark is an old theater where they show movies, you know, late at night, oldie art films and stuff like that. So you're heading in that direction. The thing, whatever you want to call it, the shambler, is continuing to move. Everybody do spot hiddens.
Regular success.
Hard success.
success.
An 01. I
Nice.
can see every pencil sketch behind the black line.
Well, I think then that Mike sees it first, but you start to notice there are more of these shamblers. There's definitely one down that street, and it's shambling in one direction. There's definitely one down that street over there, and they just seem to sort of be shambling. You all notice that is what you see. And then Mike, since you've got an 01, you see the shambler ahead of you. It turns a corner going, you know it's going straight towards that theater. And as it turns the corner, it gets halfway around the corner and it stops in its tracks. And it sort of leans back and looks up like this. And a huge shadow suddenly moves over it as if there was something around the corner that you couldn't quite see, that's right in front of it. And the thing points right at you.
Guys, back up. So something, he's got a friend. Get back to Arnie's. And I'm going to turn and start hoofing it.
Mike, doing okay? Is it hitting you worse?
Yeah, patchwork dude just narked on us. There's something in the sky.
No. Well, look up. What? Where?
Mike, you point in the direction of what you just saw.
Yeah, I mean, I pointed at patchwork and I pointed up where the shadow might come from, but I'm not lingering to see the giant pink hand with the eraser on it.
All right. Clinton, when you look back to see, you can see the thing there pointing, and now it's sort of shambling out of the way, and something is starting to move onto the sidewalk from around the building, that is bright green and with like some purple in there, and you can't see what it is, but it's brilliantly colorful, and it's huge. It must be 15 or 16 feet high, and the shock of seeing this thing that's there scares you. So I think you all are running back to the building.
Mike's right. Let's get out of here, guys. Come on. Take a look. Let's get. Well, maybe don't take a look. Let's go.
If any of you glance back, you do see something colored out there, but you don't know what it is. It hasn't revealed itself completely yet.
I'm running, but does the plate look the same?
It looks the same. Yeah. All right. So you run back into the building?
Yeah.
All right. You run back into the building. What do you do from there? Are you going to stay in the lobby? Are you going to go upstairs? Are you going to do something?
We got to go back to. Maybe we never left Arnie's room. But whether we left Arnie's room or not, that's where this started. That's where we got to finish it. We got to get our shit together and like use this plate to go home, or just wait for it to wear off. But like, it's scary out there.
Okay. So you're going to go back up to the room, all of you?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right. But you run back up to the room. And what are you going to do once you get to the room?
How's Arnie's door look?
Damaged from where you
just
smashed.
Exactly as we left it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing in here looks touched at all.
Nothing.
What took the book away? I wanted to see the whole book, man.
You were looking at it, and then Clint and I saw the color, and we asked you to look up, and you kept talking about the book, so I kind of like slammed it shut so you'd stop looking at it and pay attention, and then it was just gone.
Yeah, we got to find that. I haven't seen anything that beautiful since Suture Sucking Sorority Sisters, issue number 3.
It's like nothing has ever done. And it was so colorful. Like maybe he sucked all the color out of our world to put in his book. Did you see the? All right, you know the aha video,
Yeah. Take on me. Yeah.
right? So that's happened to us. But also there's that Daffy Duck cartoon where they keep erasing him and giving him new parts,
Yeah.
like those things downstairs. Is that what was chasing you? Was it like a giant? Was it Bugs Bunny's hand or like a giant animator?
Something like that. It's like green and purple, just really bright. Maybe 15, 20 feet up in the sky.
No, it was high. It was on the ground, but it was about 15, 20 feet high.
And what, it was
No.
just like an amorphous, like no defined shape kind of thing, Clint?
Just looked like the light, green and purple light.
Clint,
Heading
do
for us.
do an idea roll.
29. That is a hard success.
Yeah. It sounds ridiculous, but it seemed like maybe a Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree,
Yeah.
full of tinsel and lights
No,
and all
just-
kinds of
Just a
wonder.
big fat green Christmas tree. And yeah, there were maybe some sparkles on it, and it wasn't fuzzy, it was smooth, but that's the shape. I mean, if it's coming this direction, you should be able to see it from the window.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a good look at it. A tree. What?
I'm not looking at the window. I'm going to sit down on the floor. I'm going to hold the magic plate, and I'm going to click my Converse heels together and say, there's no place like the comic book shop until this fucking trip is over, because this is no good. I'm starting to hyperventilate.
I'm
Maybe
gonna look
we-
out the window.
You're
Yeah,
looking out
Bruce
the
Bruce
window?
didn't look, so he is too.
All right. So Bruce and Nadine are looking out the window. There's only room for two of you to look at, really. You're looking in
check
that
on the
direction
computer.
for a couple of seconds, and then suddenly something slides into view. First thing you see is a couple of shamblers. The shamblers are running forward slowly, as they do. And then this bright greenish sort of thing, it clears the awning on one of the buildings and comes out into view. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen. It's a 15 or 20 foot high cone. It's green. There are 4 large trunks or necks or something on the top. 2 of them are ending in large orange colored crab claws, and one of them has a large ball on the end of it that seems to be leading the way. And the other one seems to have like these reddish colored horns. It's sliding on the ground, and there's a trail of green slime. But as it moves, the green slime behind it quickly sort of dissipates. It doesn't stay there. But this thing is, those shamblers are leading it in this direction.
Oh shit! Are they leaving it here?
Something's coming here.
Looks like it.
Well, none of them saw you
Yeah.
guys go in the building, so
Don't let them see us out of the window.
I'm gonna head up to that door and see just how much damage we did to it, and if there's something to slide in front of it.
do an idea roll, Clinton.
18, man, on fire.
Okay.
Hard success.
The shamblers might be able to get inside the building, but that thing is way too big to fit through the door.
All right, so shamblers can get in, but that thing, I mean, unless it's just gonna bulldoze the building as it comes right in, it's not getting in here.
You can just erase it floor by floor. Man. The water was wet. Does Arnie have any food in here?
Yes, it does. In fact, there's 2 pieces of pizza that are now very gray looking. But
Do
Yummy.
they still smell like pizza?
yeah, probably a couple days old.
What brand is it?
Shit. Maestros.
I'm not touching that.
It's always Maestros.
And sitting on the floor and concentrating my breathing and turning the blue plate in my hand has not calmed me down or changed the world back to
Well, you can do a willpower.
one of Mike's strong suits. Huh, and a 96.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
hasn't calmed you down at all.
I'm gonna carefully set the plate back in its gray wrapping paper and its gray cardboard box on the floor. I'm gonna go to Arnie's kitchenette and I'm gonna open the drawer until I find a gray can opener. I'm gonna take down a can of gray corn or gray
Okay.
beans, and I'm gonna open it up. If it opens up
It opens.
and there's something inside that's like
Gray.
it's like a black and white movie but with higher contrast.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
All right, so I'm gonna take a gray spoon and try to eat some gray beans.
It has no flavor at all.
Can I swallow it
Yeah, you can swallow it.
and chew it
Um,
and swallow it?
It has
There's just-
texture. It has texture, but it has no flavor. It's like eating dirt, except that dirt
has
probably has a flavor.
There's disposable packing peanuts.
Yeah, it tastes
Biodegradable
bland
ones.
beyond all blandness. Meanwhile, the 2 of you see the thing go past the building, and then the shamblers, a few more shamblers join them, and they start fanning out, like in directions.
Like they're like with purpose, like
like
maybe
they're looking
searching.
for you.
Yeah. Shit. I think they're looking for us.
Are they looking for us or are they looking for the plate?
Maybe. What if we just threw it out there at them?
I don't know about
I-
that.
I don't know. I don't
did-
want to do that.
I was going to say, I don't know if I actually want to do this, but what if we just tried to break it? But
What if we found a way to combine the 2 things that actually have color in this world? We have that the giant thing, and we have our plate. Maybe they go together. They're the only things in color.
I'm not going near that thing. It had crab claws.
Well, shit, Bruce, I don't know what to do.
Wish I could have a cigarette.
remember the waterworks. I mean, you could a wet cigarette.
You can make
Bruce just
yourself
face palms.
you can make yourself
I
a
don't
little,
smoke, man. I'm
a
sorry.
little Marlboro chaw out of some
You said
tap
that.
water and that. Although it probably is not going to taste like anything.
No, it's not doing it for me.
All right, so what would you guys like to do?
Yeah.
I don't. Timepieces working?
No. They're all
Are there?
stuck. Or
Sorry.
maybe they're working 1 second
Very, very slowly.
every 10 minutes or so.
Does Arnie have art supplies lying around?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
What's that?
Everywhere. Yeah.
I think take an eraser and I don't know, just a stupid thought, but I don't know, one of the lines that makes up the wall. Does it erase?
No, the line is, like I said, it's kind of intangible.
Okay.
If we get some of the paints out, put it on this blue sphere and try to paint off of that.
That is
Blue sphere, blue
a
plate.
stupid, brilliant idea, President Clint.
I'm full of them.
Like if we take like here's some watercolors. It's like light gray and dark gray. Here's a jar of water. Take a paintbrush, dip it in the water, mix it in gray 5. And then if we paint gray 5 onto the plate, what color is it?
Okay. The paint remains gray.
Well,
Like you
I should
said,
have been president.
stupid, brilliant.
Yeah, it was
We
more
get-
like brilliant, stupid.
If we get out of this alive, maybe you can be president.
Successes or failures, you still are learning stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, we know we didn't make our hands get color back, but yeah.
Do you
So-
think Arnie could be in here with us? He just disappeared.
That's true.
Could he be
Yeah.
at the comic book store? Isn't he was supposed to be there? I don't know if we want to go out there with those things though.
Arnie went into Magnum Opus, and then something
Are
took
we in
Opus
Magnum
away.
Yeah,
Opus?
are we?
Well, no, it was colorful and futuristic, and this is
Well,
just
but if we're in it,
Sandamiel.
maybe if we're in it, it doesn't look right because we're in it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but it was futuristic. It had all these neat,
Right.
it looked
Gotcha.
like it was like an American version of one of those cool 70s French science fiction books.
Oh yeah, it was totally retro sci-fi. I loved it.
Super
it.
imaginative, but it wasn't tacky like that. I don't know. It was really great. I wish I could hold a copy. So I was thinking maybe we take the stairs to the roof and see if there's an area where there's color or
Oh,
definition.
good idea, Mike. Yeah.
Like
Have a better
maybe
view
the
in
comic
general.
book we're stuck in has a plot, and if we go where the scenes are, then they'll be defined.
Okay.
That's solid.
That's why you're the new president, right?
I'm gonna hold you to that, Clinton. If we go back to 3 dimensions or
You
whatever.
gotta you gotta give up your signed copy of Mutant Machine 1, Clinton, if that's the case.
Yeah, well, hey, as long as I make it out of here alive, plus, the whole president, it's a nice title, but there's actually a lot of paperwork that goes with it.
Yeah, and also if we can't save ourselves and Arnie, it's going to be a pretty sad fan club.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know how many people are in it. It's kind of sad to begin with, but
So where's the plot going, do you think, Mike? Do you think it's going to the comic book shop? Do you think it's with that beast?
Arnie never did much in terms of collage, right? Cutting and pasting pictures together.
no,
That's what those guys look like. They're more like some arty zine kind of things.
some kind of patchwork, South Park style. Well, maybe not, but
Well, like you said it earlier, Frankenstein. Like
Bernie Wrightston called him the Patchwork Man. And it was totally an influence on Arnie. But yeah, let's just take our precious box of the world's only color up to the roof. It's going to take us a little while to get up there, but we're moving faster than those shambling freaks. And maybe we can see the ocean. Maybe the ocean's blue. I don't know.
That's better than nothing. Let's check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
all right. So it's going to take you. You can all do dex rolls because you've got 11? Not 11. You've got 8.
9-ish.
8,
Yeah.
9-ish.
Pass.
90.
oh no, big fail.
I'm actually dexterous for a weak big person, so I'm good.
If you
hello.
failed, you get very fatigued. You definitely can feel that your legs are hurting and you're out of breath and so forth. That'll give you a penalty now if you have to run. That was ominous, wasn't it? All right. So you're going to go out onto the roof. You go out onto the roof, and around you is a cityscape that is definitely Sandamiel, except, like I say, things that are farther away are different. There's there's a couple of oddities. Like San Damiel Cathedral is just black, and it seems to go up way higher than what you'd expect it to be. It's stylized. It's not quite it's not realistic. The farther away things are, the less realistic they are. Nothing in the sky has changed. It's just white. The only thing that you see that's moving is there are more of these things down on the street.
More of the shamblers or more of the...
There are quite a few shamblers running about, and there are now 3 of these cone things. You're much higher now looking down, but you can see them distinctly moving about. Well, you can all do spot hiddenness.
No. Can't see anything.
Regular
That's a
success.
You're pretty
Hard
high
success.
up.
I got a 4, so that is
Very
a
nice.
extreme success.
So squinting your eyes, looking as clearly, one of these cone things has a machine, and the machine also is in color. It almost looks like you say, like some sort of weird sci-fi retro Jules Verne-ish looking machine. It's got pipes on the sides. It's got some sort of like a big weird light bulb on the top of it. And the front of it looks like a big vacuum cleaner. And the thing is moving it about on the street. And occasionally the light will flash. Like the world's biggest stud finder. And it's moving it back and forth on the street, and you suddenly realize that they're following your footprints. They seem to be detecting them and moving. So they are starting to move towards your building, slowly but surely.
Look, guys, we got to get the hell out of here. Let's go to the comic shop. Let's go anywhere.
This is the first time I've seen the delightful tree friends. Should I roll for sanity?
Yeah, go ahead.
As I also recognize they're closing in on our location using exactly the same roll I got last time, and it's also not a success at 55. Not far.
You can do a 1d4. You're 12 stories up, so you're not seeing a really good, clear picture of them up close.
Got a solid 4 on that.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get out
so-
of here. Let's get out of here.
Where? They're tracking us down. I guess they can't get up here. You want to go down in the street where they're vacuuming up our spore and or we could just take the plate to them like an offering. None of this is real anyway, right?
Right. We just got to wait that 10 minutes, right?
10 minutes,
Yeah.
it's DMT. This is some, I don't know. I guess Arnie was into crazier drugs than I knew.
Mike, I don't think we're tripping, man. Something's going on. And all I know is they're tracking us, and it's going to lead them here. And running now and encountering 1 or 2 is better than encountering 30 in the hallway.
Or the stairwell.
We can outrun the patchwork man, but we can't can we outrun the Christmas monsters?
Well,
Yeah,
they
I
don't
mean-
seem to be moving very fast either. Although you have no idea if they can pick up speed. They're moving like snails.
Is there any way we could get across to another building up here?
Up here, no.
The longer
I'd
we
say-
sit here talking about it, they're going to close in on us.
Yeah, Bruce starts heading
But there's-
downstairs.
There's not necessarily only one door into the building either. So there's probably a back door. For
No, this
garbage.
building this size is going to be at least 3 fire exits in addition to the front door. And I don't think we have to worry about a fire alarm anymore
Alarm,
since
exactly.
it won't go off for 6 hours after we leave. And then it'll sound like a foghorn in space. Yeah, I thought the rooftop was gonna like show us some, I don't know,
The boundaries or something.
yellow brick road
Yeah.
or some nonsense, but we're just here. So anybody's got a good idea. Anybody's got a shitty idea.
The comic shop, maybe. I mean, we know that Artie's not here, and that's where he was supposed to be.
I wonder how many minutes it's been since we broke the door down.
I don't know. Not many. The elevator still isn't even on that floor. Not many.
The whole thing has probably been no more than 45 minutes since you guys have started.
I mean, in our time?
In your time, yes.
Yeah.
Your perception.
No, at this rate, we might get to the comic book store before we left.
Oh, Jesus, Mike, don't do my head in anymore.
Sorry, I'm just... I don't feel like I'm tripping.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I feel like I understand what's real and what's not. And nothing makes any sense. So I'm having a hard time. Yeah, let's go see Comic Book Man.
Check it out. Maybe he's there.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
If nothing else, we can go in and steal as many black and white comic books as we want.
They're all black and white at this point, right?
They're all black and white now.
Sounds good to me.
We can go to the A&P and get as many cans of flavorless corn as we want, and just keep ahead of the Christmas monsters.
Okay. You run back down the stairs. You can all do dex rolls again. See if anybody accidentally trips and falls. So I imagine you're going quickly.
Do I get that
Fails.
penalty die here?
Hard success. Oh, with the penalty die, you're right. Sorry.
The penalty die, I'll spend 3 luck to pass.
I'll spend the luck to make it a pass. Yeah.
Okay.
Bruce
All right.
fails.
Okay, so Bruce, you take a bad spill on the way down the stairs. You said you failed, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So roll a 1d4 for physical damage.
Okay, 2.
Okay. I'd say you have a little bit of a limp
Okay.
as a result.
It's that awkward falling down the stairs where like it's on your ass and you're trying to catch yourself on the railing. So his ego's hurt more than himself.
Right. But it hinders you just a little bit on your ability to run.
It doesn't
takes-
spill red blood or anything.
Dave, you probably know better than I do how long it would take you to run down 12 flights of stairs.
As a group, if you're not gonna if you're not gonna have more damage, then it's more like 10 minutes. A flight of stairs, if you're moving quick, I mean you could throw yourself down them, but it's hard to do that as a group. So I would say 10 minutes is
10
a
minutes.
reasonable minimum.
All right. So you get to the bottom of the stairs and tell me what you're going to try to do.
In the
To
lobby,
the comic shop. Go ahead.
in the lobby where the motionless guard is sitting,
Right. You
We-
can definitely see there's a couple of those shamblers out in the streets. And you're pretty sure that thing is coming in this direction. There are other doors.
I mean, the comic book shop is just a stop on the route, right, guys?
It's like two blocks one direction and then 2 blocks another direction.
Want to see what happens if I touch one of these patchwork dudes with the plate?
Yeah, go for it. Let's
Yeah.
try something.
They move really slow. Do it.
They're slow and they were afraid of it. And if they can't narc on us, then let's just do it.
Yeah.
What our
It's
fearless
not
president
real-
does.
It's not real anyway.
It can't be real. All right, so if we can't see one of the Christmas monsters, then we're gonna take the door out and play a little tag with a collage person.
You can definitely see one of the cone creatures, probably no more than 30 feet away, with that machine heading towards the front of your building. There are a couple of shamblers out there. There's no way you could go out the front door without being immediately seen.
Okay, maybe we should do a fire exit then. I'm sure we're going to run into one of those guys anyway.
Yeah. Just head out the back and maybe we'll catch a straggler or something.
Okay, do a luck roll.
Luck, he says.
Group luck.
Yeah, it should be a group luck. So whoever's got the lowest.
I'm at
Yeah.
40.
Oh, I'm 44.
48.
I'm at 50.
So
I
I
win.
guess it's you, Nadine. Good luck.
22.
Excellent. So as you slip out the back door, there's no shamblers in the alley. And you're going to head in the direction of the comic book shop, you said?
Yeah.
All right. So you get down to the end of the alley. There's a couple of places along here where you theoretically could be seen, but you're careful enough to go, between buildings without being seen from the street. It takes you a little bit of doing, but you manage to wind your way around, and you come out of an alley, or at least you're in the alley, peeking out right next to the comic book shop. You see some shamblers down in the street somewhere. You see some over there. You don't see any of the cone things. You have kind of you have to go around the corner to the front door of the comic book shop. Do you want to make that move? Do you want to slip out? And
Are there people waiting outside to meet Arnie in front of the comic book shop?
there's nobody there.
So there are no real people who are still. There are no real cars that aren't moving.
You don't see any cars.
It's like a completely evacuated city except for shamblers and their colorful masters.
And us.
Security guy.
Yeah.
And the security guy.
Security guy.
And a frozen
Strangely
security
enough,
guy.
the security guy. I wonder if the other people in Arnie's building are in there too, like in their homes and their apartments.
Maybe not, because they weren't drawn by us on the way in.
Maybe.
I mean, we defined what was real.
What would you like to do?
Try to find a straggler. What did we call them?
There's
Shambler.
this
Yes.
Shambler.
There's a few out here on the street. Not close, but
Let's go snag one.
I can try and rope one in.
okay. Clinton, we'll say that there's one maybe 30 feet down the street. It seems to be walking back and forth across the street and looking in the windows of the buildings like it's looking for something. When do you want to make your move? When it's walking away from you, so it's kind of got its back towards you, or you tell me what your strategy is.
Yeah. So is it just the one that's right around here, not
Correct.
any others?
There's some down the street, but they're quite a ways away.
And it's just like walking back and forth.
right.
Okay. Yeah. As it turns around and comes back to where I would be in view, more or less, just kind of want to give a little wave. Come on. Hey, buddy, let's go.
Okay, so you present yourself to it. The second you present yourself to it, it stops in the street. It points at you, and then it sort of shambles, getting its bearings, and then it starts moving back down, once again in the direction of the theater. It's
Maybe they're showing
Just
black and
like
white
the other
movies in
ones.
there.
Oh.
Let's grab him, man.
Yeah.
it's not that hard to do.
All right. I present to it's grabbable.
Yeah, you can grab it. I mean, it's got shambly torn up clothes. And this one's completely different than the last one. This one's composed of some very strange, It's got an arm coming out of the wrong part of its chest, and
Do you want me to just try and trip it? And you can touch its back with the plate?
You know, however you want, however it has become still, we're faster than it is. So I'm going to present the plate to it physically.
This close to it, you can do a sanity roll. You can see that it's exactly what you've assumed. This thing has been cut up into pieces and then put back together again. But not, it hasn't been. It must be that a number of these things have been cut up and rearranged and put back together again. So these parts do not all belong to the same person. You also notice when you look at the clothing too, this is all typical clothing that you might find in San Daniel, but it's also been torn up and restitched together. Somebody is chopping people up and putting them back together again, badly. The thing struggles, you touch it directly with the disc and nothing happens, except that it continues to try to get away from it.
Seem to be infatuated with the theater, guys.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
to go to the theater. Maybe they're showing something in Technicolor.
Maybe.
Right, it's the Wizard of Oz once again.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's spin this thing on on one of its heels. I assume that when it pointed at us and then turned to go, it was radioing the hive mind, right? Because they don't talk, and it didn't stay there as a beacon. It just pointed, and then it like clocked its location, so they know where we are.
Yeah, so we should get moving.
But they're out there looking for us. They're not waiting in the theater. So yeah, let's go and see the queen bee. Man, I'm mixing my metaphors so badly. Probably Tank Masterson were here. 1,000 Broken Man.
Yeah, I think it's look around. Where are we? It's kind of hard to think straight right now, right?
You're gonna let this thing go then?
No, Bruce, as they're doing that, Bruce motions towards the comic shop and says, let's just lock him in the back room.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If he doesn't have if there is no hive mind and he would have just like gone to get the others, then yeah,
Yeah.
just lock him away.
All right, so you're dragging him towards the comic book shop. And since this was your operation, you weren't completely paying attention. But now that you're approaching the comic book shop, the windows in the front of the comic book shop seem to be dark, like they're tinted or they're black. The door, however, opens. And when you look inside, the comic book store is just an empty rectangular room with no shelving, nothing. There is still the back room door, but it's like just an empty square space with nothing inside of it.
So it looks like someone didn't illustrate the inside of these buildings.
Yeah.
Why would they? Yeah.
We saw the outside, but not the inside. So that's what was created.
Well, you've been into the comic book shop 1,000 times.
Just
right,
nonsense.
but not today.
Not
Like,
since
I
we've
wonder
seen.
if-
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet my apartment is. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's detailed. Maybe it's just a sketch of the front door and the floor plan. I don't know.
Well,
The patchwork fellow can't make sound. Does its expression change as we drag it towards
Oh
the
yeah,
back?
it's trying to get away. It's struggling, and it doesn't ever seem to give up. It's just continually struggling, and not in a violent manner. It's just trying to push you off of it, trying to get away from you, and maybe the couple times that it succeeds for a moment, it seems hell-bent on going the same direction the other one went, towards the theater.
Bruce takes off his apron from Applebee's and pushes the shambler on the ground and ties his legs with the apron strings.
Okay. The shambler does not seem to have the knowledge to undo the knot, but it's trying to struggle, trying to somehow do it. You pull it inside the shop.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just lying there on the floor, trying to figure out how to continue on what it was doing, traveling towards the theater.
Doesn't look like we'll need the back room. I think we can just close the door here and that'll...
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're good. Gonna need another apron though.
No. As long as they don't charge you for that, right? That doesn't come out of your paycheck.
This is Applebee's, man. What do you think?
No. So of course, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. So you go back out into the street. There doesn't seem to be any crowd of things coming towards you. So maybe there's no psychic link or anything like that. You still see a few shamblers here and there. Where do you guys want to go?
Theater?
Yeah.
Right. How do you want to go to the theater?
Oh, are our vehicles there by chance that we took to the comic store?
There are no vehicles. No.
But maybe we should kind of be cautious, like back alleys or just kind of watch, be aware.
We'll move stealthily.
We live around this area, right? So we should know some
Right.
ways around.
Don't just throw the door wide open if they're all heading in that direction. Yeah.
Just run down the middle of the street. Follow us, please.
You probably wouldn't have driven anyway because you probably lived nearby. All right. So going down back alleys and so forth, there are all kinds of ways you can get there. Do you want to approach it from the front, from the side, from the back? Or do you want to split up?
Always a fan of splitting up.
Do we see any shamblers near it, like in any of the entrances, or?
So far, you haven't seen any in the alleyway. You can definitely see a couple of them out the street. But if you run, between buildings quick enough that nothing sees you.
And this is a revival house theater, so it's probably at like a building from the 20s or something that has a balcony. And where I'm from, they always have external fire escapes that go up to like a balcony or two.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Back doors that don't have handles to the outside because they're only for evacuation.
I'd be interested to see the marquee and see if that has anything written on it.
Welcome to hell.
Hopefully not that, but
Yeah, I'm going to side with Clinton on this. Hopefully not that.
Now, the only way you can see the marquee is if you were across the street looking towards the theater. And you've actually been moving towards the theater on the same side of the street as the theater.
If we could make it up the external stairwell to the roof, we could lean over and see the marquee.
All right. You come to a point where, so you're really kind of approaching from the side of the building. And there comes a point where you're between two buildings, and around the corner, there's a little alleyway that comes out of the side of the building. When you turn that corner and start to move, everybody do spot hiddens.
That's a fail.
74. Nope.
9.
Just a regular success for me.
Okay. So as you're moving forward, we'll say Mike is kind of in the lead. Bruce is right behind him. And as you get to the end of the alley, now there's another alleyway, like a driveway between you and the other. Mike, you distinctly see on the ground around the theater, there are the residue of grayish slime trails, multiple ones. And Bruce, as soon as he sort of points down at it, you see too. There is a thing going up to an upper story.
So those trails we saw, they gray pretty quickly and then they evaporate.
Somewhat, yeah.
So these are pretty fresh.
These
if
must
they're
be fairly
still-
fresh, right?
I'm gonna put my hand in it.
It has a very strange texture, like almost like butter. It's very slippery and smooth, but it maybe it tingles just a little bit on your fingertips, but very quickly it sort of what is it when you go from a solid to a gas?
Evaporates.
Yeah, evaporates.
No,
Or-
from a
There's an-
solid, it's what
It's
is
a
it?
different word. I can't think of the word all of a sudden. Yeah, but it basically evaporates. What would you guys like to do? You also think that you might be able to hear a noise, kind of like a hum, coming from inside the theater, permeating through the walls.
I think we definitely need to get inside of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we all go in the same way? Do you guys want to split up and take different
No,
entrances?
I don't. I don't want to stay close to everybody, but do we need to take the roof then, though? Is that important, Mike? I feel like if we can hear it from right here,
I just want
see the
to have an
monkey.
entrance that they don't know about.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. I don't think those shamblers could figure out a fire escape if they tried. So
Just for the sake of knowledge, the other way is in would be the front of the building, obviously, where you go into the theater, and there's probably a back door. This probably at some point was an actual theater, so there's probably large
Right? Stage door entrance.
the roll-up doors so they can move stuff in and out.
Hmm.
All right. So but you're going to go
up to the roof, yeah.
right. Can we take a 5-minute break? I need to
Yeah.
use the
Absolutely.
restroom. All right, let me mark down the time.
I have to figure out what the word is for when you go from a solid to a gas.
Yeah, it's gonna bug me the rest of the night.
Because it's been distracting the hell out of me.
I'll have
There's
it for you in a second.
Delaquest, which is
Right.
I'm gonna go look at an Applebee's menu real quick.
Sublimation.
sublimation is the word we're looking for.
That's it.
There we go.
Between you and
Looks
me,
like-
Holly, that should have been right there.
I know. That's shameful.
It's also shameful that I learned it from the 1984 film Weird Science. So, no, not Weird Science, Real Genius.
I haven't seen that one.
Val Kilmer and his cohort make a dry ice skating rink and stairwell in their dorm and then sublimate it before the authorities come. So it's just gas. Cute. It's a very silly movie that probably doesn't hold up, but I don't know.
So then that's our plan, right? Dry ice down the fire escape, right?
Like Home Alone.
Yep.
Slide them
Home
on
Alone.
down.
What do you guys think's going on? What do you think?
I really thought it was we were in the comic and it was like going to be the hand from above.
Yeah, I did
It's
too.
not, so I don't know.
Yeah. Part of me thinks that if we're at a theater, this kind of looks like it could be a movie reel. Maybe we need to put it in a movie
What's the
reel.
plate? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The plate. Yeah. Okay.
I was a little bit on board breaking it though, like the last 5 minutes. Like maybe breaking it's what you're supposed to do, but that would be pretty quick to figure out. So I don't know.
You break it. Oh, okay. All right. Well, everyone go ahead and, 1D100 San.
You guys play any other RPGs or just Call of Cthulhu?
Delta Green, which is basically Call of Cthulhu. Anyway,
Yeah, I love Delta Green.
Played Shadowrun for years and years and years before I finally got really tired of the system because it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Did we
Kind of
get
the
the
same
word?
with Pathfinder, actually. What's that?
Did we get the word?
Yeah, sublimation.
Sublimate. There you go. He was right. David was right. I asked him when I went in there. He said sub something.
Tales from the Loop is my other big system.
Oh,
that
Tales
really-
from Free League's great. I do their Tales from the Loop, and the Alien RPG is really awesome.
Mhm. I run a lot of Tales from the Loop, and I think that's really it. Those are the two big systems I run all the time now, or three.
Did you get it, David?
Yes, sublimation is what we were looking for.
That's what I was looking for. Okay. All right. Climb up the stairs, and much to your surprise, the door to the theater is not locked. And for the first time, when you open up the door, you smell something. It smells strongly of antiseptic.
In a theater.
What would they be cleaning?
They're slicing and dicing people. Does that smell? Keep everything
Makes
clean?
sense. Sounds right.
But
Hey.
but if at least they're doing it in a place that still has smell.
Yeah.
So if there's a door out of black and white back into our world, that's an improvement, right?
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe we're getting close.
Cautiously go in. I don't want to end up like one of those things.
Nothing
Or-
ventured, nothing gained, and Bruce limps in.
Well, yeah, go on, Bruce.
You are entering into an upstairs hallway. There are restrooms on one side, and it's one of those creepy sort of long nothing hallways. But there are doors, and there are 3 or 4, 5 doors on the left-hand side, which you are very sure open up into balconies, so that you can go in and go down. So there's probably stairs somewhere down there that go down to the lower levels. It's a theater. What would you like to do? The lights are fairly dim, but everything is still in black and white.
But there is internal lighting.
Yes.
So electricity works here a little bit.
Pull up my
Bruce,
phone.
does your lighter work?
Yeah.
Lighter still
Bruce.
doesn't work. Phone still doesn't work.
Damn it.
So I would assume if this
And
is
there's that hum. The hum is much louder now.
if this is the home of the hive or whatever, it's going to be on the stage or the orchestra pit, or maybe below the stage where they've got all the, machinery and stuff, right? The whole point of being in a building like this is to focus. Are the doors that should lead to seated balconies, do they have those like thin windows in them? Tall, thin windows? So
They don't.
All right. Well, I'm going to, if nobody has any objection, I'm going to creak the first door open and see if, the stage is lit.
Yeah, I got your back, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Mike, we'll give this to you in increments of impression. You get to the door, and everything in this hallway is once again very simplified. There's no details. You're pretty sure this theater was built in the 20s. It's got a lot of Art Deco features that are missing. It's just blank. But you open up the door, it makes no noise. And you can see that there are maybe 5 rows of seats that would go down to the edge of the balcony. And then the theater is down below. You looking just through the crack in the door, you can see there's definitely flashes of color coming from down below. And you can hear, in addition to the hum, a kind of a sickening, squishy noise. The only thing that comes into your mind is giant snails sliding around down below. You can't really see down because you have to get closer to the edge of the balcony. There also seems to be some tremendous machinery, very alien looking, coming from the ceiling and hanging down beyond your gaze into the building itself. There's weird machinery noises and strong antiseptic sort of smell. And there's a lot of black and white too. Everything, normal is in black and white. The machinery might have tinges of color. You can't quite tell.
And from the outside, like the new alien machinery chandelier is coming down, but from the outside, we didn't see anything on the roof, like from the street or even from the higher stairwell. So it's embedded.
Right.
Close the nice door. There's more of the Christmas tree monsters in here. They've got alien machinery. Jeez. Like we said, like this is the connection point, right, between reality and whatever the hell we're in.
Could the plate be a part in the machinery?
Yeah, maybe.
It was mostly hanging down from the ceiling.
Yeah, from the center of the theater. It's a fairly large theater. You also notice that there's nothing up in the balcony except, seating. It's all the light seems to be coming from down below. So the balcony up top is in the dark.
Yeah, let's all sneak in. And
there's lots of cover. Yeah,
you can see. I haven't mentioned this, but I am packing heat. I'm just not sure it's going to work any better than your lighter.
Ah, shit! Just don't leave me, Mike. I can't really walk that well right now.
Yeah, no, you can lean on me for sure.
Yeah.
We can shuffle in here, go down the aisle slow. If we stay low, we could peer down and see more about what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I, for one, if it comes to it, if the Christmas trees want to chop me up into black and white slices and sew me together, and you have the chance to push me off a cliff first or a rooftop or something, a balcony, I'd rather be like that.
Damn it, Mike, you're going to be the new president. You can't talk like that.
Maybe Arnie's in the machine running this whole thing, in which case I'm no longer in the fan club.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll disband it at that point.
Never leave Arnold. Never.
Good to know, Bruce.
right. So you slip quietly through the door, and you're in a little aisle. You move down the stairs, five rows, and you come up to the balcony edge, where if you raise up just a bit, you'll be able to see what's going on. So for the sake of fun, we'll say that you're side by side. You all
Scooby doing it. Nice.
peek up and look down. All right. So this is what you see. This large, bizarre-looking machine, which is up closer to where the stage is. It comes down, and it becomes part of some sort of an apparatus. But in the center of the theater, what's happened is it looks like they've taken all of the seating, they've ripped it out, and they've shoved it all over to the side. So on the right-hand side of the theater, there are piles and piles of chairs. They've been just haphazardly swept to one side. And you can see that there are doors into the theater that are down there, into the room, but they're partly buried in the chairs. The center of the room, which is fairly well lit, there are a number of flat rectangles. They're metallic. They're about the size of a human body, and on the top of each of them is laying a human being. Some of them are moving, and hovering over them are these gigantic cone-shaped creatures, 5 of them that you can count. They have strange, large, hooked, metallic medical instruments, and they are performing bizarre cutting up and replacing and switching, and they're making these shamblers out of people that look relatively normal. You can all do sanity rolls for that one.
Fail.
Oh yeah, that's a 98.
How about you, David?
16. Cool as a cucumber.
David keeps his cool. David, you can roll a 1d4. The rest of you can roll 1d8s.
I did get a 4 hit last time, so it's not.
Oh,
There's
What'd you
6.
get, Bruce? Bruce, what did you get? Zach.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I was prolonging it.
Nadine, what did you get?
2.
2. Okay. Clinton and Bruce do intelligence rolls.
60, right on the nose.
I hard succeeded.
You both succeeded. All right. That's not good. You didn't want to succeed.
Oh,
Yeah, that means you fully comprehend what the hell's going on down there. They are chopping people up. People who are regular people from the streets, people who somehow got sucked in here. Was it 6 and 7?
Yeah, I had 7.
Okay.
6.
Bruce, roll us 8-sided dice.
4.
4. You become disoriented. You're not sure exactly how you got here in this building. You don't really clearly recall any of what's happened in the past hour. You remember being outside Arnie's door, but all of a sudden you've sort of woken up to be in this bizarre theater. So you have amnesia. And you can do that for 1d10 rounds. Clinton, roll a 1d8.
It's 5.
5. Roll another 1d8.
6.
6. You have a psychosomatic reaction. Your legs simply stop functioning. You collapse to the ground. Your legs have gone paralyzed for 1d10 rounds. Mike and Nadine, you both see them seem to have some sort of psychological reaction to what they're seeing.
Guys, shh, 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 shh.
Just be cool for just a minute.
Bruce looks around and after a little bit looks at Mike and says, I have no memory of this place.
My legs. They're still there, right?
Yeah.
You'll be fine, Glenn. Just give it a minute. Shh.
Yeah, come on, Bruce, you've been here before, but not like this. You've gotta remember what happened at Arnie's place. You gotta stay quiet because they're down there.
At Arnie's place.
Yeah, Arnie's place. Hold on. And I'm gonna produce the blue disc in hopes that it will give them a little grounding about the last few hours.
Bruce puts his hand in his pocket, hand shaking, pulls out a pack of Marlboro Lights, puts a cigarette in his mouth, pulls out his lighter, tries to light a cigarette.
Yeah. Sorry. Nadine, do a spot hidden.
That's a regular success.
Okay. You're distressed about what's happening to them, but at the same time, you're worried about what's happening down below. You do notice that this machine coming from the ceiling, it seems to be getting like more colorful as it comes down, and it becomes more pointy, like some sort of huge probe coming down. There is a metal table on the stage, very similar to all the other metal tables, but instead of a person lying on it, there is a large 11 by 17 book that's open, that's vibrantly shining. And the thing sort of comes down to a needle and it's pointing at the book, and it's up there on the stage. It's almost glowing with color.
Mike, look, it's the opus. I think that's the opus. Look.
Mike, if you look, you see it. Yeah.
Bruce, look.
I'm sorry, roll. I can clearly see it. You said?
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Oh man, that is it. That is the work.
It
What's
seems
an
to
opus?
almost be-
More Clint, come
it's-
look.
It seems to be almost
Myself up.
feeding the machine.
I mean, maybe we're in Arnie, you know? Maybe we're in his creative fucking mind. And it wants
This all sounds like insane nonsense.
tear us apart to make his work.
What do we do to stop it, though?
So what do we do to fix my legs?
Do you remember hurting your legs, Clinton?
No. I just
Do you
looked
remember?
up.
Do you remember who the president of the fan club is?
Uh,
Quietly.
It's this asshole, and Bruce points at Clinton.
Not
That's right.
anymore. Not anymore. You turn it over to me. He's forgotten some shit. You bumped your head, dude.
Clinton
Walk around
hasn't
the
forgotten anything, of course. But,
I'm still president, but remember, if we get out, you are.
Nadine,
All
you
right.
asked a question. Do a spot hidden for me.
It's a regular success.
Okay. The back, as I said, there's like a rolling door. That's open. So these creatures are able to go in and out of there. This must be their headquarters. But they're paying attention to the operations that are going on. That seems to be their preoccupation. They're not like anywhere really near that machine. But the chairs are stacked up fairly close to it. And like I said, there are doors down there to get in. It would be a risk, but it wouldn't be that hard to sneak up and grab the book.
Listen, this all started in Arnie's apartment with that book. Maybe that's how it ends too. We take the book, we go back to Arnie's.
Get it? Do we make a mad dash for it?
Just, I don't know if I can
not
dash
Clint.
anywhere. Just leave me. I'm fine. Just go.
I mean,
We're not leaving you
maybe-
behind, Clint. You're just not going to be the one running to get the book.
Maybe we should let it finish the book first, though.
I'm a good runner.
Look what's
Because then
happening. Look what's
We'll see
happening to people,
but we'll
Mike.
never know the end.
Who cares? I want to get out of here.
It's his greatest work, and we might never see him again. He might never make anything else again.
Damn his
not like-
greatest work.
Spoken like the true president of the fan club and a madman at the same time.
I mean, none of this is real, dude.
I'm good at running. I can go down there
Real.
and
Yes,
snag the
Bruce,
book.
go get it. If none of it's real, then it
No,
doesn't matter if we grab the book.
Gimpy, if one of us is going to run and get the book, it's not going to be Gimpy or I can't feel my legs all of a sudden. I'm going
Look
to
how
pinch
fast are you, man?
Clint's legs and see if he twitches.
Let's say it's probably been long enough. Clinton, you start to get tingles, like you're
Ah.
there asleep.
Yeah, see? Fucking,
Damn it,
okay.
Mike.
And Bruce, you're starting to remember that some
Okay.
pieces of
The giant ice cream cone monsters, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. God, I remember falling down the stairs like an idiot too.
Yeah. Left and right, and left and right. Word of the wise.
Okay, I was going right then left.
What if we... I mean, we could try to break the machine from up here. We could like throw a chair into the machine and watch it like, what do they say? A monkey wrench, right?
Yeah, but that isn't that going to draw the attention of everyone in here? Like, what if one of us could just sneak up and get it, get the book, walk away? Do you want those things?
Maybe
Can we have
whistle
those?
a little bit.
Well, what if one of us stays up here and throws the chair while everyone else is down there, or someone else is down
Big
there
distraction.
running to get the book? Yeah.
Okay.
You think the way to fix it is to get the book back to Arnie's?
It's just a guess. It's how it all started, right?
The disc.
Yeah, what about that disc?
Not this desk. Does the machine have any components that are visible from here that look at reminiscent to this disc?
no, nothing like it. Looks like pipes and glass and crystals
And you said that it's basically a complicated system that ends in a needle that's incising the book.
right. Well, it's just pointing at it. It's not moving or anything.
The book is not moving. And
Nothing is moving. No.
Does the pages turn?
No.
Or just filling up with light and color?
Right. It's just sitting there.
I kind of want to stick my hand into that thing and have my brain filled with light and color.
What if we put the disc in the light and color? Like we thought before with the crab people.
Yeah, maybe we could do both. But whoever's going up there, slide the disc under the light. If nothing happens, pull it out,
the
grab
book.
grab the book and go.
No, pull the book and then put the light under like Indiana Jones, and then watch everything blow up.
Yeah, I really liked Crystal Skull. That one was the best.
What's wrong
Oh,
with
Jesus,
you?
Bruce.
That's a choice.
Knew you were an anarchist, but God.
All right. So
That almost brought an abrupt end to the game right now.
the seating's been piled up against the right wall as we look down. Is
Yeah.
that right? How about there are doors in the left wall too,
Yes. Mhm.
but they're more occupied by
They're-
personnel?
Well, they're just wide open. I mean, they're. If you came through one of those, the things would see you immediately.
Oh, so it's about sneaking around the chairs, we think?
I think that's the way, yeah.
It's like a game of Jenga for life. Like which door do you open like the least noise that you can slip out? I guess with the one in front is the probably less piled up and farthest from them.
Let's get a closer vantage point. Let's do that first, then decide what we want to do.
Well, we can get down one balcony at least.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
We can probably see the front of the second balcony from where we are.
There's only the one balcony. It's not a multi-balcony.
Oh, it's California, right? They didn't build that grandly, that old. So I think we have two options. Does somebody stay up here to try to disrupt things?
Yeah, I think Clinton can't really move much anyway, so let's leave him up here in a seat.
He'll be tap dancing in 10 minutes. That son of a bitch.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting the feeling back now,
It's
but
still not
I
a
can
bad
certainly
idea,
throw a
though.
chair.
It's not a bad idea. And maybe don't throw the chair unless it looks like we need the distraction, though.
Okay. If I see a bunch of Christmas trees closing in, ready to take you to Tinseltown, I'll toss a chair over the edge.
Hey, Clinton, and Bruce kind of leans in real close to him, to his ear. Says, if you don't make it, can I have your signed copy of that comic book?
No, it goes with me.
All right.
Machine Man. All
If we
right.
get back to the real world, I think we'll all have a greater appreciation of sharing and caring.
Yeah, I think so, Clinton. I think we will.
Yeah, the comic's still mine though, but yeah, we will.
All right, El Presidente, do you have something you're ready to throw in case we need distraction? Maybe a few things?
I mean,
Is there a black and white fire extinguisher handy that we can take off the wall?
Yeah, there probably is. The theater chairs are not really movable. The fact the ones downstairs have all been shoved over is because they've been literally ripped out of the ground.
Yeah, now we need to provide him with a fire axe,
it,
a fire extinguisher, movable.
Yeah, there might be enough detail up here that there's a fire extinguisher with no markings on it, a black fire extinguisher with a big can.
Sure. Yeah, we'll grab that. And does it look like it might still work?
Probably not, but it's heavy.
Okay, that'll work. That's all I need. All right.
One of the stanchions that holds the red rope.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you toss one of those over, that'll make a noise.
Yeah.
Just if we could find a handful of sketched details that have weight and heft that he can move without.
Yeah, he finds a number of things, we'll say.
All right.
I like that, the stanchion. Pick one up. So,
Yeah, I mean, he could even take out one of these guys if it was right downstairs and he flung one of those down. That would make a dent.
Only if we need it, though. Only if we need it.
Yeah. So we're gonna take the internal stairs down. We're gonna the door closest to the what are they? Music box, the opera hole, whatever they call that.
mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna, push against that door on my ass slowly so that everything moves as incrementally as possible. And then one of you hotshots can run up and grab the book.
Okay.
And then we hoof it. Are we gonna go separately back to Arnie's and just see who makes it, or are we gonna try to go as a group?
Do we want to see if the disc could fit somewhere in here or do something with it?
Thought we were going to try to put the disc in the thing under the light color, and if it didn't work, then we were going to grab the book and go.
Yeah, I thought it was take the book, put the disc, but whatever anybody thinks is a good idea. None of my ideas have been good.
I mean, depends. Maybe you got time to try all three.
How far away? Can we have one person grab the book, one person put the disc in the colored light? Is that feasible?
I think we could, yeah. The two of us, Bruce.
I'd have to do whatever's closer. I can't move too well.
Yeah, I'm not. For a hefty guy, I'm not slow. If we get the door open and they don't call the alarm.
So one person hold the door, two people go deal with that. One person is the distraction if needed. We rendezvous back at Arnie's place.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
So I'm confused as to what you all are going to do, but you tell me. I know what Clinton's going to do. He's going to start
Right.
throwing stuff to make a distraction.
What's
Three of us are sneaking downstairs. I'm pressing the door open, and then Bruce is going to hold it.
Okay.
And then Nadine and I are going to run for the
Yeah.
magic
right.
printer.
All right, so you all get into position. Bruce opens the door. You guys are on the right side of the stage. He pushes the door open slowly, and it opens quietly enough that nobody seems to notice that the creatures are busy. They all seem to guess now is that this ball thing in the front is some kind of a head, and it has eyes, and it's got tentacles hanging down, and the tentacles are holding medical instruments and doing rather fine, weird work on these things. So they're pretty distracted. So he pushes the door open. You have a clear shot at the object, and Clinton, you can see them down there opening the door. So, Clinton, are you going to wait to do something, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm only going to start checking things down there if it looks like there are the Christmas trees converging upon the stage, and it looks like they're in trouble, and maybe they need a distraction for a second. If they can get up there and everything's fine, then I'm
Okay,
not
so Bruce, you're keeping the door open.
Yeah.
Nadine and Mike. Do a dexterity roll. You're gonna run, right?
I'll spin the luck, but that's a regular success.
Dex 70 rolled 69.
So
We're
also
really-
spend- yeah.
There's a lot of popcorn and sticky old soda on the floor.
You got to hop up onto the stage and run across. All right. So let's see. You manage to run up. You climb up onto the stage. The things don't seem to see you. You're staying in the shadows. I could have you roll stealth, but I think the things are distracted enough that you don't have to be that stealthy. They're not expecting anything. So you cross over, and you're in front of the table with the book on it. As you look at it, it's brilliantly. I mean, it's Technicolor. It's almost lit up and shining into your eyes. Mike, you looked into the book originally. It's not the same story. It's not exactly the same. It's completely bizarre. It's as if you're looking onto a landscape that is completely alien. It's like the physics of that world don't make any sense, and you can do a sanity roll as you're looking at it.
It was down to 40, but a 17 is safe.
Okay. It kind of bothers you to look directly at it. And Nadine, you notice that
I don't think we want to take it.
Well, then what do we do? What do we do? Put the disc under it. See if it in the light, in the color. See if it does anything.
Yeah.
Okay. You set the. Are you going to set the disc under the needle?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or are you going to just hold it?
I guess push the book aside and put it on the same plinth or whatever area,
Okay.
and maybe turn it to see if there's a correct position.
Okay. The second you push the book out of the way, before you actually do anything here, immediately the hum ceases, the coloration in the machinery stops, and all of the creatures suddenly stop what they're doing and they look around, and then they look over at you, and they all, these strange multi-eyed, they each have 3 eyes. They're looking in your direction. A couple of their little crab claws go up and start clicking loudly. And a few of them start to move in your direction.
Get the heat out,
So I
Mike.
start chucking stuff.
All right. Clinton, are you going to try to hit one of them?
Yeah. That sounds like fun.
Okay, why don't you do a brawl roll? I think that would work.
Okay, brawl. Oh, 10. That is a hard success.
Okay, you bring one of those things crashing down on one of the creature's heads. And for the first time, this noise, this bizarre, loud piping sound, like horns, like geese, when geese fly over, that sort of sound starts screaming out. It's like the creatures must be screaming, but they honk. And they're clicking their things, and there suddenly is pandemonium. Nadine and Mike, what do you do?
I'm gonna grab the book just in case, and like, Mike,
Okay.
put the disc.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
All right.
like close the book, I suggest, and yeah, I'm gonna again start. Is there anything coming out of the stylus anymore? Then it's not gonna.
In fact, when you set this down, nothing happens.
Okay, yeah, let's run for it.
Yeah, running with the book back toward where we came.
Okay.
I'll try and chuck some more things out to
All
buy
right.
any kind of distraction.
Your chucking things is causing more pandemonium. The creatures are flailing about. And out of a few of the doors down below, you see some of these shamblers come running. They're not running, but they're moving in. And these things are piping this strange noise. But you guys all managed to get out of the building. All right, you run down the hallways and you run out the side door where you were before and into the alley. Clinton joins you very, very quickly afterwards. What do you want to do? You're running back to Arnie's, did you say? Or did you change your mind? Do you want to do something else?
Arnie, yeah, I can't think of anywhere else. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna go hide.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody do dex rolls. No penalty dice.
Ooh, a 4. So extreme.
Bruce passes.
Nope. Big fail. 69 out of 40.
I've got 34, which is a hard. Is there any way I can help my fallen comrade?
Do you want to turn around and he's kind of gotten
stumbling
hooked
comrade?
maybe on something.
My legs, they still don't work right.
Mike, do a luck roll.
Yeah, I want to grab him and yank him loose. I didn't spend any more because I didn't start with a lot. Oh yeah, 24 is exactly half of my luck.
All right. So you managed to get him untangled. And you guys get to the end of the alley. You're going to turn and run towards Arnie's. And there is suddenly this blast of noise, like a gigantic klaxon going off. Oh, like that. Just continue. When you get to the end of an alley and you look out into the street, you notice that there are these shamblers. Wherever they were in the city, they're all now heading towards the theater. In the direction of the theater, you can't really see the theater, you're around the corner, but in the direction of the theater, you start to notice a couple of these cone things moving into the streets. And they seem to have some apparatus Are they holding it in their tentacles or what? But some sort of, it almost looks like a large old-fashioned camera that they're moving around with. Gonna make a run for the building?
Yeah.
All right. I'd say without much difficulty, you get into the building. Are you going to go? The guard is still sitting there reading his book. Do you want? Where are you going to go inside the building?
Let's go to Arnie's place.
Arnie's, yeah.
Okay. So you run up to Arnie's. You try to close the door. Of course, it's damaged. You can still hear this blaring klaxon outside, and you look out the window, and there are a few of them with those tracking devices in the street, and they are converging very quickly on your building. There must be 20 or so shamblers and at least 7 of those cone things, and they are converging on your building. What do you want to do?
I'm rushing in, like throwing the book down on the coffee table, like opening it up, trying to see if we can kind of recreate what we did.
Okay.
Slap the disc on it.
Right, and looking for anything circular like that, exactly.
I thought you left the disc.
No, when it did nothing, we hoisted
grabbed
it
it.
away.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have the disc and you have the book. You open the book. It's brilliant, almost impossible to look at. You can all do sanity rolls if you actually look at it directly.
That's
Fail.
No, pass.
It's not Bruce's time.
I'm sorry, anybody fail?
Yeah, Bruce did.
2 of us.
Do a 1d6.
Oh man. Bruce rolled a 6.
Roll an intelligence. You want to fail.
2.
What'd you get?
So a 2. So I
Oh,
succeeded.
Really succeeded. You're staring down into the book, and you're going, "It's beautiful. It's more than I ever imagined." And you can feel heat on your face, as if you're being scorched by the sun, as you're staring into this book. And at this point, any attempt by anybody else to close the book, you're going to fight them off. Mike, you're having a somewhat similar reaction, though not quite as strong. You didn't fail. You didn't succeed that well, but you really want to read this book. You really want to see what's inside, but you know somewhere deep down inside, it'll destroy you. The other two, you see them staring at this book in wonder and amazement, but obviously being manipulated or controlled by it.
Mike, the
it's going
disc.
to burn them up. You can see them, almost their skin starting to smoke.
It's beautiful. I could stare at this for 5 hours.
Yeah, put the disc in there. I'm trying to pull Bruce.
I'm gonna brawl him if he's trying to pull me away from it.
Okay, yeah. Let's try to hit him.
That is an 18. That is a success, or I think that's a hard success. Yeah, that is a.
How about you, Clinton?
I just had a regular success, so
All right, so his hard beats your. So
Yep.
What do you punch him in the face?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna clock him right in the face.
All right, and Clinton, you have the disc in your hands.
Mike.
yeah, Mike did. I did not.
Well, Mike's not doing anything. He's just staring at the book. He's
Oh, well, then I'll try to like wrestle it from Mike. If Clint's
Okay.
going for Bruce, I'll try to like
Okay.
grab the disc from Mike.
all right.
Take it.
So Bruce punches you in the face, Clinton, and you go flying with his hand to hand. Is it 1d4?
Yeah,
Yeah, the 1d4 damage.
that is a 3.
Ugh.
So he clocks you pretty good.
Think you're getting that comic now?
Nadine, you've got the disc. What do you want to do?
Putting it on the book, or like at least I'm not closing the book, but like flipping the pages, seeing if there's any way I can like
If she's getting
make
close,
sense of it.
They won't let you flip the pages,
Yeah.
but you've touched the book a number of times with the disc, nothing happens. The disc doesn't seem to do anything as far as you know. So far, nothing.
Right. I'm gonna have to try to close it then. They're going crazy. I see that this is insanity.
Yeah. Whenever I can get up and around, I'll try and help Nadine.
All right. I think Bruce and maybe Mike at this point might try to stop you.
that is a fail for Bruce.
Okay.
64.
Maybe something deep down inside says you don't want to hit a girl.
I will spin the luck to make it an extreme success.
Okay.
After the shit talk on Crystal Skull, I don't know.
What are you then trying to do, Nadine? He's trying to wrestle you off, but you're succeeding.
Closing, like just close the book.
All right. I'm not so sure that you can manage to close it. Because
Tear the pages then. I'm just
they're
tearing the pages.
Okay, you're going to try to tear the pages. I think that, yeah, and you succeed. All right, something very strange happens. You grab a hold of the edge of one of the things. They're sort of trying to wrestle you, and you yank the page, and there is a ripping sound, except the ripping sound seems to grow almost to a deafening level. And Clinton, as you're sort of recovering and you're looking out the window, the sky and part of the city seems to rip away as if it were a gigantic picture, and it's just been ripped away. And Nadine has this chunk of the paper in her hand. And I think that Bruce and Mike, the spell is kind of broken on you for a moment because she's damaged the page. It's not as beautiful as it was a moment ago.
I extended my hand out to Clinton to help him up.
Don't help me. Rip out the book.
Okay. I start ripping up the book.
As you rip more pages, there's a terrible ripping sound. Everything around you starts to shake and vibrate. And you finally get to a page that when you rip it, the building that you're in begins to collapse. It literally half the building vanishes. And you find yourself starting to fall. And before the book is completely destroyed, well, by the time you've ripped it to shreds, you find yourself sort of in a void of white. There's nothing around you, except you still have that blue disc. What do you want to do?
Should we break it? Bruce, you were
Work on the
talking about
book.
breaking it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
How are you
break
going to break it? I guess Bruce has a gun. You could maybe not fire it, but you could use it as a hammer.
Or if it's ceramic, just like, I mean, I guess the
Just don't hit me in the face.
Oh yeah, just like hold it out and like someone just punch it.
That might hurt.
Just don't miss.
All right. So, however you manage to do it, it is ceramic. You hit it with something, and there is a moment of the sound of shattering glass or the sound of breaking ceramic. And you feel a kind of a wave of wetness all over you. And the feeling as if you're sort of being tossed in the air. Everything goes black for a moment. There's a great deal of confusion. and you all hit the ground as if you've been thrown backwards by something. And when you open your eyes and look around, you are in Arnie's apartment. It is back to normal. It's all in regular colors. You can hear the sound of the city outside. And laying on the floor, a few feet from you, is Arnie with the whole side of his head smashed from the inside out and his brain matter lying all over the ground. You've got it all over you.
Mike was right. We were in him.
And that's almost the end of our story. The prologue to the story is about a month later. On the other side of San Damiel, there is a young artist who's been struggling, and he opens up his door to find a package from UPS, which he has no idea what it is. He opens it up, and inside is a blue disc. And that's the end of our story.
Awesome. Thanks. That was a good one.
So the Yithians, it wasn't so incredibly obvious.
Yeah.
Normally the Yithians they travel through time and space into people's minds and switch places. But they've been doing some interesting experiments. They've been looking for creative types like Arnie, and using that disc to sort of focus their machinery on them, get them to create some work, and then they're basically pumping information into the person's head. And then when the time is right, they can create a pocket universe so that they can capture people and experiment on them and do it completely with complete anonymity. What Arnie was yelling was they had been pumping so much stuff into his head, there was no more room. There's no more room. It doesn't fit. And he was screaming in agony. And they just said, well, recall, and they pulled him in. And then you kind of got pulled in along with, just because you were in the proximity. And they didn't know that. So once you were inside, their shamblers were there to see if there were any intrusions from the outside. And there had been occasionally. And they had done what they'd just made more shamblers out of them. And you guys managed to stop them by wrecking their sort of psychic machine. Had you managed to smash the disc without destroying the book would have come through with you, and you would have had yourself a new mythos tome that would have been, it actually says here, if it won't video, you can't take pictures of it. You can't mimeograph it. The only thing that you could theoretically do is hand copy it, but you'd go completely insane in the process of hand copying it. Interesting. So what did you think?
That was great. That was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like how, I guess seemingly it's like, here's the thing that you can do to solve the adventure more or less right now.
Yeah, what would have happened if we broke the disc?
Yeah, I know, we just find it and smash.
I kind of worried about that.
We were close. We were really close to doing that.
I would have had to have changed the story somehow. I would have said that you have to get the book also.
Yeah, we were close to that. That was wild.
But yeah, you guys were, and I was kind of going, oh, go ahead. But yeah, in a couple of the games, they ignored the disc. They just left it there.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Paying attention to it. And it's like towards the end, they're like, maybe there was something about that disc. And they had to go back and find it.
Yeah, I was just going to like a Schindler's List, right? Like the only color is the girl in the red dress. So, I mean, it had to be important.
Now, the wild thing is that disc is real. It's not blue, but that actually is an ancient Sumerian star chart.
Oh, wow.
That they created. I don't know.
I was going to ask about the origin of that prop because it's really very like compelling looking.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Like you can kind of tell that that's not a prop, but it was actually made by somebody from a culture that we don't understand.
Right.
Like so perfect in some respects, and like they don't care about other parts, and like weird and beautiful.
We'll look at it again in a second. Let me go ahead and finish up. Our players included Holly Buto, Andrew Bush, Zachary Anaya, and David Gassmer with myself, Keeper of the Secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. There's a link below. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved in the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.